the first aid convoy crossing into Gaza since the Israel-Hamas war erupted 2 weeks ago. 20 trucks with white flags loaded with medicine and food entered the Rafah border crossing from Egypt. Israel says it will allow more trucks to cross once it has proof that supplies are not seized or diverted by Hamas. The convoy arrived a day after Hamas released 2 Americans. Roughly 200 hostages still remain in Gaza. Here in the U.S., federal law enforcement officials are on alert for homeland threats. We have details now from Catherine Herridge.
From barricades around the U.S. Capitol to armed police at places of worship, the visible security reflects the heightened threat at home.
There's a real deep concern that something might happen, and we want to make sure that the Jewish community is protected.
You've done active shooter training.
Absolutely.
Gil Prus of the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington says they've added more armed police at synagogues and have close to real-time intelligence sharing with the FBI about potential threats.
As the conflict expands, as more people die, there will be greater animosity and greater likelihood of acts against the Jewish community.
We're now starting to see the hate crimes come in.
Texas-based Imam Omar Suleiman tells CBS News the Muslim community is also on edge.
Every mosque in America right now, every Islamic school is shoring up security.
Intelligence bulletins obtained by CBS News this week confirm an increase in threats to the Jewish, Muslim, and Arab communities, including reports of physical assaults, bomb threats, and online calls for mass casualty attacks, as well as foreign terrorist groups like al-Qaeda calling on supporters to attack Americans.
Our FBI field offices all across the country are communicating not just with state and local law enforcement, but also with faith-based organizations.
The FBI director, Christopher Wray, warns of lone actors who may take inspiration from the conflict to commit violence in the U.S. In Chicago, a 6-year-old Muslim boy was killed and his mother injured in an alleged hate crime.
There's a central question a lot of Americans are asking. Can Homeland Security stop the violence from coming here?
And what the U.S. government tries to do is reduce the risk. It's not perfect.
Michael Chertoff was Homeland Security Secretary after the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
When you're dealing with Americans who themselves are carrying out acts of violence, it's hard to anticipate and stop every attack.
How does the ground invasion by Israel change the threat environment here in the U.S.?
So anything that elevates the number of casualties, creates horrifying visual images, some people are going to take that as the final push into taking violent action on their own.
For CBS Saturday Morning, Catherine Herridge, Washington.